Hey guys, my name is Alyssa. I just finished my first year at LSU University. Wow, LSU University. LSU. And I stayed at one of the off-campus housing student apartments in the Baton Rouge area. And my experience wasn't great. And there was not a lot of information on off-campus housing student apartments. So I kind of wanted to make a video about my experience, what I went through, and my advice. So I have a couple categories. I'm going to talk about my move-in day, kind of quality of living in the indoor and the outdoor, and management. So let's jump right in. So move-in day. We were scheduled to move in at around 1:30 on move-in day. So we got there and there was no parking. We kind of had to make our own parking space. It was very packed, and I think it was kind of backed up. So you can tell, red flag, they're not moving quickly, not smoothly. We go into the lobby to get our keys. So it was like they were understaffed. They didn't have a lot of people working, or not enough people working. We got our keys and everything, and then we finally went up to our apartment. Walked into my unit, and it was completely trashed. It was just a mess. All our furniture was stacked in the living room, and opened up the fridge. Fridge was dirty, and I mean dirty. Like, I don't even know who lived there before, so it was disgusting. There was food still in the cabinets. Floors were dirty. Clothes still in the washer from whoever lived there last. My mattress was disgusting, if you know what I mean. And the carpets were dirty. So I was like, I could not believe that they let us walk in to see this. Like, you never want someone who's living there to see this, because now I'm making this video about it. It was just horrible, like, horrible experience. So me and my family walked downstairs, and we talked to the manager, and we were like, hey, our apartment's disgusting, we need someone to clean it. So she goes and grabs a little cleaning set herself and promises she's gonna go fix it. I'm like, one, it's not a one-person job. Two, that's not going to clean it. She brought like the Windex bottle and wipes. And I was just, so we were like, whatever. Turns out she never went up to look at the apartment to see the condition it was in. So we're waiting around. It's like 3 o'clock now. We finally talked to like the property manager, and we got into a very kind of heated conversation about, we need our apartment cleaned now because I'm supposed to move in now. All my stuff's packed in my car. All my stuff's not at my home with my parents. Like, it's all packed in this car. I need to get my stuff out. I need my apartment. Now I need a place to live. So it took an army. It took my dad yelling. Me, like, I'm a very soft-spoken person. It took me, like, I started getting heated and all that. So finally around 6 o'clock at night, or we were supposed to move in at 1:30, 6 o'clock, they finally started cleaning it. So in the end, I was not able to move in that day. It was a real bummer because, like, I'd said my goodbyes and everything. I was accepting, like, wow, moving out, but no, it just didn't happen that day. Management did not handle it well at all. I was kind of shocked. I was like, wow, I'm gonna remember this for the rest of my life, but not, like, for a good reason. College move-in day was horrible. So that was move-in day, very horrible experience. Like, you want your customers to have a good experience when they first get there. No, was not. Now we get into the quality of living in my apartment, like actually inside my unit and then outside, like all of everything else. So first off, everything there is cheap. It's a cheaply built complex. I mean, everything breaks, everything's just very, very cheap quality. It looks nice, like the model room looks nice. Don't trust model rooms.
Don't do it.
But when you actually get there, very cheap. The walls are super thin in this apartment. I can hear everything that goes on around me. I hear cars driving by outside. I hear people above me stomping around all night, keeping me up at night. I hear my neighbor playing his guitar at night, and he's like a good distance away. Like, I shouldn't be able to hear him playing guitar. Yeah, I always say that the walls are thinner than my thighs too. So, I mean, I have kind of thick thighs, but still, it shouldn't be thinner than my thighs. The next thing is that our dishwasher sucks. And I don't want to wash dishes by hand all the time. Sometimes I do it, but I don't always want to wash dishes by hand. And our dishwasher, the bottom rack doesn't fit on the track. It kind of like tilts. It's like not wide enough. So if you don't get it perfectly on the track, it won't clean your dishes properly. So I have to have a full-on war to get it right evenly on the track so it'll clean my dishes right. And that's a hassle. I don't want to do that every time I'm trying to load up my dishwasher. The doors to the bedroom are very easy to break into with a credit card. All you gotta do is bloop, push your credit card into the lock and it opens, unlocks everything. I'll post a video of that in here like right now, but it's just not safe.
Wait. With my Tiger ID.
Okay, so that's another thing. Then something small was like our oven drawer where we keep our pans is broken. It's like
It's like,
this side. It looks very bad too. And the biggest thing was that my AC broke for 2 months. 2 months. And I live in Louisiana, okay? It's hot. It's very hot. So it's like October, 85 degrees outside. So essentially our apartment is 85 degrees inside and humid. And all the smells, like if someone cooked food, smell would stay. If someone washed their clothes, smell would stay. If someone threw some trash away, smell would stay. So there's no air circulation. And I'm very prone to getting respiratory infections, and I could just feel it getting in my lungs, and I was like, this is not healthy, and they're not doing anything about it, which is very frustrating. Like, you think if someone's AC broke, you'd fix it just like that. Nope, they did not. So things break a lot and all that, so that's another really big thing, and that's only inside. Now here we go to the outdoor areas. The hallways are disgusting.
disgusting.
Where I live in my apartment, the doors to get in your actual unit are in hallways, so my hallways are always filled with beer cans and dog poop and throw up and some type of liquid. Sometimes the sewer water like gets into the hallways. I have no idea how that happens. It's disgusting. It smells like straight sewer in the hallways, so it's very unsanitary, and probably you like shouldn't be breathing that in, I don't think. So, and they don't clean it that often. Like, they'll leave sewer water in the hallways for a week before they even attempt to clean it up, and they only clean the hallways maybe twice a month. So that's not okay in my opinion. Then you go outside and there's dog poop everywhere. You swear everyone in the unit has a dog and no one picks up after it. It smells like dog poop everywhere. It's disgusting. It's not good, not clean, not well kept. Look at my phone too because I have notes. So, and the safety there is very, very bad. So we have doors, and like usually you have a little keypad thing that you put up to a sensor to unlock the doors. Well, half the time it doesn't work. You can just yank on the doors and it'll open, or the hooligans that live there will literally put a rock in the door to keep it open for their friends to come instead of walking downstairs to let their friends in. So it's very unsafe. Like, the crime in Baton Rouge, not very good. So that's kind of scary that the doors are unlocked all the time. Not all the time, but most of the time, are very easy to break into. Another thing. So parking there is horrible. I live on the first floor, and so I try to park on the first floor, but it's always taken up by visitors, and it's not enough parking. And then we have a parking garage. It's supposed to be gated for a gated community, but the gate's always broken. And there's people who drive so crazy in that garage. I've almost got hit head on 5 times. They go like 30 miles per hour in it, and the entrance and exit are on the same, like, they're right by each other, so someone's coming out and someone can come in at the same time. So it's very dangerous. Not safe, and people drive crazy, so that's another bad thing. They built that pretty poorly too. So, another thing, we're supposed to have a nice pool, but it's not very nice. It's dirty all the time. There's always stuff in it. Lord knows what those college kids are doing in there. But And one time, like, the light was just hanging out in the pool with the electrical cords. I'm pretty sure that could electrocute someone. But did they fix it? Nope, not for at least a week. So that will kind of lead into management. I will say our management people are nice, but they're not very aggressive. By that I mean they don't get things done quickly. Like AC broken for 2 months, that is not acceptable. Sewer water in the halls, not acceptable. It's just, they don't really force people to get things done, in my opinion. They're just kind of laid back. Next, maintenance is super sketchy. They're just like random people that were hired. Sometimes they just knock on your door and barge in for no reason. They don't show up in uniform. One brought his dog to my apartment. And they don't look like professionals that know what's going on. Like the people who came to look at my AC had no idea what was wrong with it. I think that's why it took so long to get it fixed. They were looking at the vent at one point. I'm like, the vent's not broken, the AC is. Yeah, just super sketchy, like random people they picked up off the street. And then the office work is worked by college kids. So if you have a question, they don't really know the answer. If you need something, they're kind of lazy, like, oh, I need a package. And they're like, I'll go check. And I don't really feel safe handing my $600 check to them, you know what I'm saying? So that's another downside. So overall maintenance, not very good. Nice people, but not very good at getting things done, keeping the place clean, and all that. The building structure's not really their fault. They can't do nothing about that, but still, not very good. So my advice to all incoming college students to LSU: do not stay off-campus student housing apartments. None of them. Some are a little better than others, but the quality of living is not going to be that great. In my opinion, you're going to have cheap stuff, so that breaks and all that. Well, there may be people who, like, you're just a negative Nan, but my experience was really bad, so I just want to put my information out there, my opinion, my experience. So, that's part one of my advice. Second, don't sign a lease right away. If you're like me, after I've gone through this, if I have to sign another lease, I'm going to wait it out to the end. I'm going to weigh out all my options. That's why I recommend weighing out all your options. And do not sign a lease until the latest time possible. Third, do your research. Go on Trulia.com, go on Zillow.com, talk to a realtor, and find out what locally owned, I guess you could say, owned by a family, condos or houses or townhomes there are to rent, because they're honestly going to be a lot cheaper and a lot better built, better quality, safer, bigger, cheaper. What I'm paying now is so overpriced. Off-campus housing makes so much money, it's ridiculous. When you can get a whole house with a backyard, 3 bedrooms, maybe even 4 bedrooms, for $1,200 a month. So if it's 3 bedrooms, that's $400 per person a month, which is super cheap, and you're not right on top of each other like where I live now. I'm right on top of everyone. So yes, do your research. And that's all I have to say. Big thing, don't stay at off-campus housing. Don't do it. So that's it for today's video. I hope it helped out a little. I'd really check out Trulia and Zillow. You can look what's for rent in the area, and you can find some really great deals. So that's it for today, and